Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can all agree on the fact that there are so many great heels in today's product of WWE, and man, it honestly can get hard to figure out just possibly who the best heel is, but I feel like very recently, like literally just in the past week, that we've kind of understood who the best heel is, who the most hated heel is going to be, so we're going to be breaking that all down in today's video. But just before we get any more into the video, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload, go follow the socials, links to those will be in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account. Do all that helps me a ton, but now let's get you guys straight into today's video. Alright, so first let's talk about what I mean by the answer has just become very clear very recently. So obviously this is going to take us back to just this past Saturday night's main event. What happened in this Saturday night's main event? What was the big thing? Well, it was John Cena's retirement tour and his final match. It was the end of the retirement tour. It was the end of John Cena's career in WWE. And who was the final opponent of John Cena? Well, it was no other than Gunther. And we all know that how this match ended, man. Nobody liked this ending whatsoever. It made Gunther look like a complete asshole, which is, you know, kind of hinting at, you know, obviously who I think the best heel or greatest heel in WWE, or the most hated heel in WWE is currently. But yeah, nobody really liked this match. I mean, yes, there was some good moments for sure, but the point is like nobody liked the ending, man. Nobody liked how this thing ended. It was John Cena's last match, and most people figure or consider the fact that they did John Cena very dirty. I am one of those people that definitely agrees with that for sure. So yeah, and one of the big important things that did happen in the ending of this match, well, it was the fact that, you know, John Cena tapped out, and there was a big thing going into this match that, you know, John Cena hadn't tapped out, and I believe was it over 20, was it 20 years or something like that, is what I think is what it was, that he hadn't tapped out. And obviously in this match, in his final match, he tapped out, man. So it's kind of like, you know, WWE should have like kept that running, but but obviously who took that away from Cena? Who took the fact away that he hasn't tapped in 20 years? Well, it was no other than Gunther. So yeah, it was no other than Gunther, man, and that is a big part of why in my opinion he is the most going to be, or is currently the most hated heel of WWE. So now let's move on to the next factor of this video. Okay, so the next step, well, we need to jump to just this past episode of Raw, which at the time that I'm recording this was just last night, but at the time that you guys are watching this is just 2 days ago. So we need to talk about this Raw. So Gunther opens up the show. He is booed like crazy, man. Like, he is genuinely booed like crazy. He's like the Dominic Mysterio, but I feel like even worse, man. You know how Dominic Mysterio goes out there and the fans don't let him talk. They pretty much boo him. They not pretty much, they do. They literally boo him, and it's, you know, they don't let him talk. So that's pretty much that treatment, the treatment that they gave to Gunther here, but it was just a lot worse in my opinion. Which is kind of crazy to say because, you know, the fans booing Dominic was already pretty bad in my opinion. Like, it was some pretty harsh boos, but this one, man, you could just tell, you could just feel the intensity of him. But yeah, so the fans boo him like crazy, and Gunther just sets in. He just lets it soak in. He taunts the crowd. He just sits there like this, you know, with his arms wide open, just, you know, thinking he's the greatest, he's the guy who made John Cena tap out, and he just soaks it all in from the fans. And there's fans giving him middle fingers, and honestly, I don't even think there was that, like, middle fingers towards Dominic Mysterio. I mean, I was not expecting fans to throw up some middle fingers, but I definitely saw some in the crowd when I was watching the show. But yeah, man, so he's pretty much just, Gunther just soaks in this hate, taunts the fans, makes them even more radicalized towards him, and then we see, and then what makes it even worse, that makes Gunther an even more hated heel, is the fact that, well, he walks back, in this promo, he goes up to the ramp, or the entrance ramp, just a little bit of ways, but then he comes back down to soak it in again, and he just rubs it in the fan's face. And the major thing that he does say in this promo, he doesn't say much, but he says that he made John Cena tap out like a little bitch. Obviously, the fans boo him like crazy for that one. And then he says, you know, he will forever be known as the guy who obviously tapped out John Cena, which that statement right there has a big emphasis on why I am making today's video. Okay, so now let's just talk about that statement. So Gunther claims that he is, you know, he will forever be known as the guy who made John Cena tap out. So now we need to really analyze the magnitude of John Cena. I think all of us know the magnitude and, you know, just the greatness of John Cena's career and everything that he's represented. So obviously John Cena has always lived by hustle, loyalty, and respect, and to never give up. And what happened on Saturday night's main event? Well, John Cena gave up. And who made him give up? Well, that was Gunther, man. So that and never give up is like something that John Cena, he used pretty much his entire career, man, for most of his career, and that had a everlasting effect on the fans, and it still does to this day. But the fact that Gunther at Saturday Night's Main Event made John Cena tap out and give up, that absolutely crushes the fans and makes them absolutely hate the shit out of Gunther. And just how they booed Gunther, like I mentioned on Raw, just this past episode of Raw, it's like, man, this is going to be a very everlasting effect. Like, I'm talking, this hate towards Gunther and this strong of hate could genuinely last till the end of Gunther's career. Like, no cap. I'm so serious. I feel like it's going to last that long and Gunther will forever be booed, man. So to think, John Cena is a lot of people's childhood hero, man. Like, he's really, like, it's really true. And I mean, you hear that all the time, but you also see clips at the same time here and there. But yeah, I mean, John Cena is people's childhood hero, and to have somebody like a Gunther who makes John Cena, he ruins the reputation of never give up, and he makes John Cena give up, and then he comes out the past episode of Raw, or the following Raw, and he just taunts the fans. He just soaks it all in, and he just pretty much just he just becomes an asshole. I mean, that's going to absolutely crush the fans, and they are going to absolutely, they're always going to hate Gunther. They are going to boo Gunther until, pretty much he is out of the WWE. I mean, people are genuinely pissed, like hella pissed. Like, not just the fact that, they're pissed at the fact like he's still there. I know there's fans out there that are like that. Like, they want him genuinely out of the WWE. I know that's not like a popular thing, like, people that want Gunther out of WWE for what he did, but I definitely know that there's fans out there that do feel that way, like, at least right now. But I feel like fans will forever feel, and I think myself included, man, we're always going to feel some hatred towards Gunther, and that's not Gunther's fault, of course. This is obviously a booking decision by WWE, of course, but the fact that the guy involved was Gunther, and who made John Cena give up was Gunther, he's always going to be hated, man. He crushed childhood dreams. He crushed a reputation. He crushed an entire career. He crushed an entire legacy, in my opinion, when he beat John Cena and made him give up, man. And that, honestly, John Cena giving up is like a whole separate video that I honestly need to make, so I'm not going to jump in too much on that. I mean, I'll probably make that video probably sometime this weekend, but that's like a whole other topic that we do need to get into, and just like why John Cena's retirement tour, or why this final match absolutely, ruined the reputation of John Cena. That's like a whole separate video. We kind of, talked about it a little bit in this video, but yeah, the point is here, man, like, Gunther is genuinely, like, there's some other good heels in the WWE. Don't get me wrong, like Becky Lynch, Dominic Mysterio, as mentioned, and even Logan Paul. Like, those are some all great heels right now. And there's more than that, of course, but those are just some of the better ones. But then Gunther comes along and does this, and he gets involved in this situation and makes John Cena give up. He rubs it in the fans' face. Like, that's something that, like, genuinely is going to make Gunther hated. I mean, he already is hated. He was already hated before the fact. He's even more hated now. It's insane. Like, honestly, to me, I genuinely don't, like, from here on out, I think Gunther is genuinely going to get booed out of every stadium. Every time he's on Raw, every time he's doing an appearance, every time he's doing a promo, he's going to get booed like crazy, man. And honestly, I feel like there's going to be some extreme fans that they do some shit, man, and I'm not going to talk much on that. Obviously you don't want to think like that, but I'm just saying, I feel like that's possible. I'm not going to really say what those options are. If you know, kind of thing. But yeah, man, I just don't see Gunther really ever, coming back from this. He's always going to be followed by this hate from fans. And man, I'm just saying, man, it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, but for the time being, man, I just do not, and if the hate just continues like it is now towards Gunther, it's never going to change, and honestly, it's probably just only going to get worse. Alright, well, it is going to wrap up today's video. As always, I do hope you guys did enjoy, and be sure to leave me your thoughts down in the comments below, man. Who do you guys think the most hated heel in WWE currently is? Do you agree with me? Do you think it's somebody else? Why do you think that? Leave that all down in the comments below, but like I mentioned in the earlier, before we get out of here, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload, go follow the socials, links to those will be in the description of the video. That includes my Instagram account, my X account. Do all that helps me out a ton, and I will catch y'all boys in the next one. Peace.